Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I'm Alex. I help developers build better, smarter and faster. In today's video, we are looking into how to use dev containers in VS Code to do Laravel development. What is dev container? So dev container is a complete development environment packed inside a Docker container. It includes everything your project needs. The right version of PHP, the composer, databases, Laravel application, Xdebug, VS Code configurations, Git itself, and DB, Node.js. All those things are included and all configured and ready to go. Instead of installing all these things manually on your machine, you just open your project in Visual Studio Code and VS Code launches the container with everything pre-installed. It is like having a fresh, clean, consistent Linux environment for every project without messing your system. What are the benefits of having a dev container? It ensures consistencies across the team. Everyone works on the same environment. It also makes onboarding new developers much more easier than what you used to do. And it isolates all the dependencies of a project into that container. So you can have multiple versions of PHP across your project with one container having a particular version, another container having a different version. So those are the benefits of using dev containers. So let's get started how to set up dev container for Laravel development. We get started with setting up a Laravel environment in a dev container in the VS Code. In order to do that, you need to have Docker installed in your system, as well as you need to have some plugins enabled in VS Code. Mostly it is this one, dev containers. I will give the link to this plugin in the description box, or you can search for dev containers. This will enable you to connect to the dev container and develop within the dev containers from VS Code without worrying about anything accessing the containers. Let's get started. So I don't have a PHP installed in my local system, but to start with Laravel, you might have to there are multiple ways to set up a Laravel project, but my preferred way is to set up using Composer. But to run Composer, you need PHP. So how do you get it started? You can get it started by clicking this icon, open remote window icon in the VS Code. Here you will be getting a couple of options, out of which you have to select the new dev container option. Once you select, you will be getting an list of options of different programming setups. And here you can search for PHP. You can search for PHP and then you'll get these options. You can go with PHP and MariaDB if you want database also as part of your dev container. It will be separate container, but it will be bundled as a single compose file, all done by VS Code. So I'll go with PHP and MariaDB. Here you can name the container. So I'm going to name demo dev container. I'm not going to additional options as this is a very quick guide to how to set up dev containers for Laravel development. What's happening behind is you can see that VS Code is already starting to pull down the images needed for this one. If I click show log, you can see the details. So it's downloading the necessary container files, container images. You can see it opened a new window which is connected to the dev container itself, and it is now building the container based on our requirement. This is going to take some time. I will fast forward this part. Now the setup is completely done. We are connected to the container, as you can see here. We are in the dev container, uh, PHP and MariaDB. Let's see, there are few files automatically created. So here you can see the dev container JSON, which gives the name. If you want, you can change it to something else. And it points to the Docker Compose file, the default service where the VS Code will be connecting to the workspace, the forwarded ports. All these are in detail. I'll have a separate video about the detailed process. And in Docker Compose, if you're familiar with Docker Compose and Docker, you will easily familiarize. This is a very basic Docker Compose file, which is having two services. One is for the app, which is the PHP container, and one is for the DB, which is the MariaDB or MySQL DB. We have a Docker Compose Docker file for setting up our PHP container with some basic extensions. In case you need to add more extensions, you can modify this Docker file and rebuild our containers so that it will have new extensions which you have added, and the same extensions will be automatically installed when you next time start the dev container automatically. Let's check the version of PHP. As I told you, I don't have PHP installed in my host machine, but if you look at here, you can see I have PHP 8.2. Since we didn't choose the additional options, by default, the default container is pointing to PHP 8.2. If you remember where we got the list of PHP containers, there is an additional option where you can select. I guess PHP 8.4 is also available now. As we have PHP already installed, and also, as you can see, you can have Composer also installed. See, Composer is also installed so this is part of the base image which we used, which is coming from Microsoft itself. If we need, we can use custom images also. You just need to configure all those things out of the box. Let's install Laravel application in this one. So we'll install it with Composer. Composer create project, Laravel/Laravel. I'm gonna prefer this. And instead of creating the project in the base folder, I'm creating it in another folder called SRC. Now our Laravel application is created. Let's cd to SRC folder and start the application. You can ignore the Xdebug because I haven't configured the Xdebug. As you can see, as soon as I started the PHP artisan sub command, it started the server, and the VS Code is also prompting your application is running on port 8000 is available. I can click on open browser. Let's see. See, our Laravel application is up and running. It is that easier to set up a dev container, and you can work in this dev container just like in your normal machine, but without installing any of these dependencies within your host machine. And if you have another project, you can install another version of PHP or a different configuration of PHP with a different sets of extensions. All those things are possible here. And when you commit all this to Git, all these files are also included. So next time when somebody clones it, you don't have to even do the initial setup. It will automatically prompt VS Code when you clone and open it in VS Code. VS Code will automatically prompt to open it in a dev container, so that the one, for example, if somebody is newly joining into your team, They don't have to even worry about which version of PHP or what all the development environment setup they need to install. They just need to have Docker, they just need to have VS Code, then clone the repository and just open it. The rest of the things VS Code will prompt, uh, and it will automatically set up the entire ecosystem for them. And if you look at the Docker, you can see it has created a Docker Compose project, and we can see two containers running. One is app and one is the DB, which is running MariaDB and our custom application container. So that's it. Hope all of you have liked. It's something uh, which will improve your productivity. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.